And we are live at the NRA Annual Meeting and Exhibits in Houston, Texas, 2026, here at the Meet the Pressers and Gun Freedom Radio. That's pretty good. My first time doing it, so I felt pretty good. And here with my awesome co-host, Clint Macro. We have an awesome guest. Always great to catch up with these guys. And Clint, do us the honors.
We have our esteemed colleague, Katie Giddins. She is the Northeast USA Director of
everything.
Women for Gun Rights.
Yeah, Northeast Regional Director.
Northeast Regional
Women for Gun
Director. Yeah, so that would be NERD if you were going to be.
Nerd?
I'm a nerd. I am.
If you're going to make an acronym.
No one's rude enough to point that out, Cliff, but now it's out there. I am.
So how you doing?
Pretty good. This is my first NRA annual meeting.
Oh, really?
It's great, yeah. So it's like a really friendly mini shot, which is really nice.
Yeah,
so.
have you been to shot a lot?
No, I went to shot for the first time year before last. I couldn't make it this year, and was just like, wow. I even got the shot flu.
Oh,
so I was no, I'm totally fine. But everyone warned me about it, and I went, I'm healthy as. But yeah, I got that. And I went,
You think, how many people touch that escalator thing? You know what I mean? It's like you're grabbing, oh no.
It says on these escalators, like, it's safe to put your hand on. There's a picture actually says, it feels safe to put your hand on it.
Good
That's
Lord.
the first thing I thought this morning is like,
Actually, somebody gave me this patch that says marked safe from getting stabbed at but I missed all the action this year at shot, so this is great. I'm really happy to be here.
Good.
Yeah, well, as you keep coming back to these, NRA annual meeting is like old home week.
Yeah,
It's like a family reunion.
that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It does
for sure.
Yeah, most certainly. So tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to this point in life where you're now the NERD.
Just you can say it.
The Northeast Regional Director, yes.
Well, I met and I was very good friends with an American chap. We'd known each other since the early 2000s, and just had a sort of a long love story there. And in 2017, he came over to Australia and proposed, and then I came to the US in 2018, and we got married, and my immigration journey started there, and became a citizen in 24. But even when I was still just a permanent resident, I had been involved with Women for Gun Rights as a way, I felt, really to give back to a community that in a short amount of time had already given me so much. And it has evolved into, no, this is giving back to a country that has been a space for me to realize a freedom spirit that hadn't been able to fully express itself in the culture that I grew up in. And I love Australia. It's a wonderful place, but over the years, probably very much since 1996, there was a massacre in Port Arthur there, and sort of a sweeping gun. What is a ban now, essentially? But it was an amnesty at the time. It was a buyback scheme. It was all those very, friendly words. Scheme, yeah, not such a friendly word. And pretty much through a lot of media influence, you became guilty by association with horrible things if you were a firearms owner, and a lot of people went, oh, well, that's not me. But there are probably an equal amount of people that put their guns under the floorboards, So those people in Australia are still working on, let us have our freedom back. But that kind of freedom isn't enshrined there. It's sort of dependent upon the government.
Right.
And you come to America and you realize, no, I was born free. And this is where I've realized it. And so over that time, I was introduced to firearms. I was never afraid of firearms like a lot of people in Australia are, and a lot of people here are. I was curious about them, really, and that was, I think, a really good attitude to get into it, and became intentional about learning how to be my own first responder. I think 2023 it was, and got involved in a Girl and a Gun, and met some amazing women who are my best friends. And from there, I was asked if I would be the New Hampshire State Director of Women for Gun Rights. Little did I know that there were gun bills coming up like the week after, and I was about to give myself a pass because what do I know? I've never testified before. I don't even know how the laws are made yet. But I made a promise and I went, Kate Giddins, you go and testify. And so the next week I was in front of a Senate Judiciary Committee and just spoke from my heart. And that's pretty much where my advocacy comes from. And
That's
now,
the best place.
yeah, well, when I had to reduce it for myself to like the essence of advocacy, which for me came down to self-advocacy. And I asked the question, if no one else ever stood up for the Second Amendment, if everyone went not doing it anymore, would I still do it for my own freedom? And the answer was yes. And from there, as well as working with Women for Gun Rights, and again, now being part of this wonderful family within a wonderful family, I'm working on some like training myself. So I instruct women, and I have also created a creative writing workshop, which is a big part of my life as a creative person. How do I find my particular unique space within this space? And it's a creative one, and it's one that's focused on self-advocacy, mental health, awareness for women who carry so much in their lives. Like they take on so many roles, and I know our guys carry a lot too, but women, I've encountered women who are so reluctant to speak about mental health issues that they have or see a counselor because they're afraid of admitting that they are involved with firearms, because they're afraid of red flag laws, things, and they'll be taken, something will stop them from being able to protect their families. And I'm like, this has got to stop. So I've got a little project at the moment trying to find a way to get women connected with mental health resources, and that's myself.
It comes to mind, there's three things that, as you were talking, I was thinking of this. One is, if not me, then who?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And that came to mind right there at the end. And then two other things. And one of the reasons, obviously, they tapped you, obviously, you can speak well, and you came from a location that ran guns. And I distinctly remember that big pile of guns.
Yeah.
And, that was all over the world, they were showing this big pile of guns in Australia where they're taking them back, or buying them back, or, the scheme.
Relieving them of a burden.
There you go. So you coming from there, and then going through the legal channels to become an American citizen.
6 years it takes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to get your thoughts on that as far as, you came in the legal way, what's your thoughts on people coming over not legal? And then also, the firearms and, them banning the guns, and over here you don't. So like anything on that end that you're doing to try to help your native land? Well,
in Australia, we're not unfamiliar to the issue of illegal immigration. Back in sort of like 90s and even early 2000s, there was a push to turn the boats back. So a lot of our illegal immigration in Australia comes from places like Indonesia. They come through Indonesia basically and come down the west coast and make their way in like that. And you've got groups there that have always pushed, give them amnesty, let them roam free. And then there are other people branded as racists who say, no, you can't just come into a place where you've burnt your ID. No one has a way of knowing who you are. We can't
what
just.
You've done.
That's just crazy. You wouldn't let someone in your house that you didn't know.
Exactly.
But so there, that dynamic there of for and against, we've got it too, and it's just whoever gets in power really determines your immigration policies. And look, Australia is very proud of its multicultural heritage, as we are here. Like we're a melting pot. Australia's no different than that. We're just on a much smaller scale. But for the most part, people are like, no, you've got to do this the right way. But in a sense, the damage is done. Some of the cultures that have come in, they don't respect women in the way that Western cultures respect women, and that is now really spilling over into different areas of a lot of communities.
Not like Europe.
Yeah, very much so. But it's the same there as here. You've got to look at people's track records who are running for office and vote for the people who support that actually value your life and your freedom.
Not just what they say, it's how they vote.
That's how
they'll tell you whatever they want.
Yeah,
lip
look
service.
just look at the track record.
Yeah,
Sure.
look at how they vote. Look at how they vote on constitutional challenges. Look how they vote in their procedural votes. I mean, all that the information's out there.
Yeah.
But I tell you one thing that I've had the opportunity to see with you and with other folks that I've worked with, not even necessarily in this industry, but folks that have come to this country from other places, they really appreciate the freedoms that we have here. And I think a lot of natural born, Pennsylvanians and Americans that are born here on the soil, a lot of them tend to just discount it or not they take it for granted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so to hear someone who has lived in a place where guns truly were banned, something that we say we'll never let that happen here, and have seen that process take place, I think that would give a really interesting perspective, especially when you're testifying.
Yeah, no, it's true, and I do bring that in. And the tricky thing with saying I'm from Australia where guns were banned, it's like, so a beautiful lady, I'm sure you're very well aware of, like Gabby Franco, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's with Women for Gun Rights as well, Olympic shooter, Venezuelan legal immigrant. And in New Hampshire, we've got an amazing lady that's running for office as well, Lily Tang Williams. She's a legal immigrant from China. And so we've got these legal immigrants who come from countries that not a lot of people want to go to, right?
Yeah.
And then you get someone from Australia who says, yeah, they banned our guns as well. And like, yeah, but we still want to go to Bondi Beach. Like, everyone wants to go to Australia. Nobody thinks of where I came from as somewhere that, is horrible and you need to flee. And it's not really until you sort of immerse yourself in the American culture. There's a lot of people who immigrate that still don't love America. And I think that's a shame, because Americans have like some of the biggest hearts, the most generous, most open people that in all my travels around the world, I've never met people like Americans. And yet I will say we are the butt of jokes around the world for that, because people don't understand where it comes from. But I do know a lot of immigrants as well, legal immigrants, who just love this place and say, I'm home now. And it's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate hearing that. I've never traveled abroad, so I've never experienced being an American in another country.
We've been to a few places.
Yeah, you sat on top of the pyramids, didn't you?
Not on top. That's it.
Not a lot.
Egypt in the 90s and Canada, and we just went to Mexico, so Cancun.
So to shift gears slightly, Women for Gun Rights now is a membership organization.
We are. Thank you for bringing that up, Clint. So in the past, we've had people follow us. We sign up with a newsletter, and it's been wonderful. And we love being able to sort of reach out and let people know what's going on. But now it's our 10th year, and we're growing rapidly, and we're asking people to not just follow, but to join us. And so we have a 3-tier membership system. There's Patriot level, which is entry level, and that's $50 a year. And then there is a Defender level, and that's $100. And then there's Founder level, and that's $200. And at every level, we also, we want to say thank you for showing your support. So there's T-shirts, free raffle tickets. Like the Defender has a beautiful challenge coin. It's we don't want to just say, give us your money, like here's a sack, put it all in there. We also want to say, like, we're doing this for you as well. Here's something to say thank you. And the support means everything to us. It really does.
Yeah, it's important for folks to know the work that this organization does costs money. I mean, there's people traveling back and forth to the Capitol all the time. There's things printed, briefs, made up. So, when you testify, you need to get all that information. There's just so much stuff that goes into this that costs money. So membership is a great way to raise funds in order to keep the bus rolling. So can men join Women for Gun Rights?
Oh, they absolutely can. One of my little creative ideas that I'm trying to push for a campaign is strong men support Women for Gun Rights.
Nice.
Because we rely on our guys at home. They love protecting us, but we also know and learn how to protect ourselves, and we advocate for ourselves as well, and we're advocating for our families. But the men in our lives that we love and that love us, they're a part of it. And so, like, our ladies, they're all volunteers. None of us are getting paid to do this. And they do, some live 4 hours away from the State House, and gas costs a lot. They do drive, so all those little bits we reimburse them. We never want any of our ladies to be out of pocket, but they routinely don't submit reimbursement,
receipts,
because that's their way of giving to this cause as well, and it's amazing, and that's part of that generous spirit that's so beautiful, and I think needs to be honored by giving back wherever you can when people give to you, but that level of involvement from our volunteers is just it's really unique about our organization, I think, and we appreciate everything we can get, because advocacy doesn't actually make a lot of money here either.
Yeah,
for sure. So the link's actually up in the description. So hit the link, go to the website.
Oh, you did that? Put that there? Oh, thanks, guys.
And I today will join.
You will?
I promise on camera that I will join.
Thank you.
As will I.
I wasn't sure if guys were allowed in the club.
Oh, you are allowed in the club. We got XL, XL.
Right.
Look, our t-shirts are unisex. You just get whatever.
Well, I guess men is in women.
It is.
Yeah.
We're a big part of each other.
Yeah, indeed.
And that's it.
Indeed.
So womenforgunrights.org. That's our website. And you can join there, and also you can find out about our national summit, which is a pretty big one this year. We have what's been called a DC fly-in for our state directors every year, and we get as many ladies of our state directors who are available. Their flight is comped in, and this is part of how we say thank you to those ladies as well. We fly them into DC, we put them up in a hotel for a few days, and we have some training and rally on the Capitol lawn, and then that's on a weekend. And the Monday, Tuesday, we actually go and engage with our state reps, and usually there's a lovely senator that will give us a private night tour of the Capitol building, and it's such an amazing experience to my first time. I did it last year, and it was like, oh my gosh, I have a place in this power that runs the nation. I have a place. And when you walk those halls of Congress and see that these people in the media that are always up there making all the decisions, and they're running the place, it seems like, right? And you go there, and they're just sitting in an office. They're just guys and gals.
Just fellow citizens.
They're fellow citizens, and you can walk in there and say, I've got an opinion on the Second Amendment, and I'd like to tell you about it. You can do that. That's your power.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
we put them there.
Yeah. So the ladies come in DC, and it's really amazing. But this year, our 10th year, we're actually opening the doors to at least 200 people. We have to cap it somewhere, but anybody can come. So our state directors, there's 50 tickets taken up there, but the rest is open. If you would like to come and be part of that summit, come and be part of that summit. There's going to be a banquet, a gala. We're here this weekend to see if we can get some people to partner with us, to sponsor. You can sponsor a table. You can donate some gear for silent auctions and giveaways and things like that. And
that link off the same website?
Yes, you can get there from the website, and you can register there, and so membership and registration through the website, and it's shaping up to be pretty big.
Excellent. Before we wrap up, just a call to action. Katie said this before. You have to vote. This is a midterm year. We have to get out to the polls. So gun owners need to register to vote, get their friends to register to vote.
Your vote counts.
Research the candidates and get to the polls. If your state does mail-in ballots, then if you have someone that can't make it to the polls, make sure they get a mail-in ballot. Help them to obtain that. But we've got to come out in force. Gun owners have to register to vote and come out in force.
And be that person that advocates for freedom, that advocates not just for your own freedom, but the freedom of your neighbors, the future freedom of your children. Be that person who gets involved, and you don't have to go and testify. You can just take your neighbor to the polling booth. It's really easy.
Take your kids to the polling booth.
Take your kids, teach them about it.
All of our kids.
Augie has been to the polls with me every single time I've voted. I think every single time.
Make them feel like it's something that we have to do.
I'm gonna sob. I'm gonna sob like a baby when I see him cast his first vote.
That's awesome. Cool. The website again?
Womenforgunrights.org is our website, and we would love you to join us. And I thank you guys for the opportunity to share our mission with your family. Thank you, guys.
Always a pleasure, Katie.
Check them out. Give them your support. And make sure you check out the giveaway. It goes to the end of the month. meetthepressers.com/giveaways. Pick up some cool swag and different things from some of our sponsors. Stay safe. 2 thumbs up.